Here's what Ted. Now, here they asked Ted Cruz. Listen to what Ted Cruz. Listen for the subtle dog whistle here.
You know, I'm reminded of what FDR's grandfather said. He said, all horse thieves are Democrats, but not all Democrats are horse thieves.
So do you understand what he's saying? Listen to what...
In this instance, there are millions of peaceful Muslims across the world in countries like India, where there is not the problems we are seeing in nations that are controlled, have territory controlled by Al-Qaeda or ISIS, and we should direct at the problem, focus on the problem, and defeat radical Islamic terrorism. It's not a war on a faith.
So I'm going to play that for you again because it's really, listen to what he's saying.
It's not,
I'm reminded
it's not that
of
subtle. It's not that,
it's not that subtle.
What
pretty sure
FDR's grandfather said. He said, all horse thieves are Democrats, but not all Democrats are horse thieves.
You know, and people try and tell me that Ted Cruz isn't green. He's recycling punchlines from FDR's grandpa.
You know what else FDR's grandfather said? Never trust a Cuban from Canada. Yes. How about that? So what he's saying is, not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's what, including the white Irish kind in the IRA. They're also Muslims, apparently.
And by the way, he's also he is very effectively linking that to the Democratic Party.
To the Democratic, yes. Oh, yes. A lot of things happening there. He has a lot of.
Well, and he's misrepresenting what's going on in India, where there were terror attacks.
Yes.
In fairness, guys, ISIS does vote Democrat. So
yes. So this is Robert. How horrible is it that the first time FDR is brought up, it's by Ted Cruz in the whole goddamn campaign.
Oh.
First time in this election, FDR's brought up. It's by Ted Cruz.
But it's FDR's grandfather,
right?
And who I assume was the embarrassing racist grandfather.
I think it's weird that the Democrats don't bring up FDR. I mean, compare the way the Republicans bring up Ronald Reagan all the time, while the Democrats run away from the achievements of FDR's presidency. It's like FDR's legacy doesn't have legs.
Boom!
All right, I'll take that joke.
He's on a roll, guys.
I will take that. Make a note. Take that joke. You can leave it in. So what Cruz is saying is not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are in fact Muslims, which is true. All terrorists are Muslims, including the Irish ones. When the IRA was committing terrorist acts, nobody was proposing to stop immigration from Ireland. Right? Remember that? Okay. Nobody demanded Irish Americans to condemn the actions of the IRA. Nobody proposed hunting down and killing Republican congressmen like Peter King for aiding and abetting terrorists.
Yeah.
Yes. And by the way, FDR's grandfather said that about Democrats when there were racists, separatists, and paranoid nativists in the Democratic Party. So it's still the same type of people who want all those horses. And by the way, Ted Cruz had to immediately leave the debate because he forgot to, he left his hat while he was cleaning Trump's pool. So we had to get back there. So that's literally what they're saying. All terrorists are Muslim. There's no Christian terrorists. That's that thing that could, they just had a guy at Planned Parenthood. What about, what's the guy, Roof?
Oklahoma City.
Oh, Dylan Roof.
What about Dylan Roof? What about Oklahoma City? Exactly.
Like we can go and just talk about like
Eric Rudolph. Yeah. How many fires at Planned Parenthoods? Right, we did that statistic on the show before. Wasn't there something like 82 acts of terrorism at Planned Parenthood since the 70s? So we've had lots of terrorism in America. And by the way, there's been since 9/11 more terrorist acts in America committed by non-Muslims.
Yeah.
So that's just a fact. So that's Ted Cruz saying that's just xenophobia, that's just racism, that's just don't ever pay attention whenever violence happens. Don't pay attention to it unless it's somebody darker, somebody who looks Arab, maybe somebody of a different religion.
By the way, I like Trump's listening face.
Yeah.
That he, I'm listening. He's probably not, but he knows that that's his resting face.
Do you know that
listening.
face he makes? That That face, you know who
Yeah.
makes that face? Who used to make that face? Mussolini.
Mussolini, yeah.
Mussolini used to all the time.
Yeah.
He would make that face.